Hey, Lindsay, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. How's Winnie doing?
She is doing fantastic.
Good. This is her last week,
I
so we're going to
know.
learn her last little behavior, and then we're going to do a brief review on everything.
Okay.
We're going to let her meet a new dog
Perfect.
and talk about socialization, and then she will graduate.
Oh my gosh, such a big girl.
I know it seems like it's gone by way too fast.
Yeah.
So after this, a lot of people ask me like, what's after this? So what I like to tell people is like, there are like intermediate puppy classes, advanced puppy classes. But mainly what you want to do now is take what you've learned and just keep practicing it and practice it in new locations.
Okay.
And then practice with different people so that she listens to your husband and your kids and not just you.
Okay.
So like practicing outside, once she's like had all of her shots, go to Home Depot, go to Petco, and just start to generalize those behaviors that she knows in different places.
Okay.
And then you just keep working on it.
Okay.
I have had some people that go to puppy class and then they call me when their dog's a year and a half.
I know it.
And they're like, oh, my dog's really naughty. And I'm like, but they're like, well, we did puppy class. And I said, well, have you done anything since puppy class?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
We graduated puppy class, so we thought we didn't have to do anything else.
Oh gosh.
And it's like, well, I still train my 11-year-old dog. So
Yeah.
you still have to work with your dog.
After like this initial, would you still suggest like, 10 minutes twice a day, that
Yeah.
kind of thing? Okay.
Yep. And a lot of it now is you can start incorporating it into your everyday routine. Like wait at the door before we go for a walk.
Okay.
Wait for your food. You're always going to be practicing leave it.
Yeah.
Outside, you could put a long line on her and practice come. And so,
Would you say that once she's kind of got things down, like in this seated atmosphere,
Yes.
it kind of transitions into more of throughout your lifestyle?
yes.
Okay.
Yep. And you can start doing it in different rooms of your house because she recognizes when I'm here we're training.
Yeah.
So then start to do it in different rooms. And then outside and then
Those are your treats.
yeah. And then different places and things like that.
Okay.
So, and then just getting her to generalize, because that's really like the third phase of training is generalization, and dogs don't generalize. So, for instance, if I am working in a new area, like with Jade, I will start over with treats as if the dog didn't know it.
Okay.
So I pretend like, okay, she doesn't know sit, so I'm going to lure her. I've found that they do pick it up quicker there, so it's like, oh yeah, I remember what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And so I will start over and make it easier since I am increasing one criteria, which means new location. So I'll make it easier for the dog by using a higher value treat and doing the lure
Okay.
and things like that, just to set them up for success. But then they pick it up quicker.
Okay. Good to know.
So,
Cool.
okay. So any other questions before we get
I
started?
don't think so.
Okay. Okay, so today we're going to do stay.
Okay.
And with stay, and I'll kind of review the difference for me with wait and stay, because I get asked that a lot. Wait for me is like wait a second. So it's like wait and then you get to go out the door.
Okay.
Wait and then you get your food. Wait and then you get to jump out of the car.
She sees
Stay.
herself in the
Oh.
window.
Stay is going to be more of a like stay put, like, okay, you're on an exam table, stay. Or we're eating dinner, so you're going to do a down stay. So it's kind of a longer.
What do you think what do you
Thing.
use more?
I use wait more,
Okay.
but I do use stay. So an example is if my dogs are going to go with me, I'll do wait at the door till I get their leashes on, and then they go. If they're not going to go, I'll do a stay, and then right before and that just kind of tells them, okay, we're not going.
Yeah.
But it's like stay put, don't bolt through the door because you're not going to go. And then right before I close the door, I release them because technically I don't want my dogs to think that they have to sit and stay for 4 hours.
How do you release them? Is that like another
Just free.
command? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and we'll do that as
Okay.
part of, not that my dogs would do a 4-hour sit stay because they wouldn't.
Yeah.
As soon as I close the door, they pretty much move,
Yeah.
but I still release them. So, so that's kind of the difference. And then like in the car, if I have to get something out of the car and the dogs aren't going to come, then I'll say stay, and that just tells them stay put. I've got to
be a
get
minute.
something, and then you're going to stay in the car.
Okay.
So they're not getting out.
Yeah. So they know the difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And a lot of times, like I'll use stay if somebody's going to come into my house and I don't want the dogs to bolt through the door, then I'll use stay. So.
Right. Whereas wait would mean you're going to go outside in a minute.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, so to start stay, we have distance, duration, and distractions. And I only increase one of those at a time. So if I increase distance, I'm not going to also increase duration at the same time. I'm only going to make one harder at a time.
Okay.
So, oh, I've already got my clicker on. Okay, so we're going to start.
I know where those treats are.
I know.
Oh, here, a bunch of them fell. Should we let her have them or should I get them? I'll grab them.
Yeah, you can hang on to them because you're going to be doing it too.
Okay.
Okay, Winnie, stay. Good stay. Free. Yeah, go get it.
She's
So,
like, what?
so free is kind of my release word.
Uh-huh.
And you can use any release word like all done, good job. Just, I try to tell people not to use okay.
Because you use that so much.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Makes
if
sense.
if you have your dog in a downstay and you're having dinner, think about how many times you say okay.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
okay, stay. So she did 5 seconds.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm going to take a step back. Oh, let's try again. And then if she breaks her stay, I'm just going to bring her back. Stay. Take a half a step. Go back. Good girl. Good stay.
That one you increase distance?
I increased distance. Free. So I lowered duration. So I did like 3 seconds instead of 5 because
Okay.
I added distance.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm going to try to do one step for 5 seconds. Stay. Oh, let's try again. And if she breaks several times, it just means we're going too fast. So then I would make it easier.
Okay.
Stay. Oh, let's try again. So this time I'm going to take, sit, stay. So I'm not going to take as big a step and make it shorter.
Does that count that she jumped up?
Yeah. I mean, I want to set her up for success.
Yeah.
Later on, you can define your criteria more like I want you to stay in that position. But for her age and stuff,
She didn't come forward.
yeah. Good job, and you didn't break your stay. Stay. Oh, let's try again. So I'm not going to tell her like no or anything like that because she's learning. Like she's not doing anything wrong. Okay, let's try again. Sit. Stay. Good stay. Stay. So I'm going to take a little step back and go back. Good girl.
Yeah.
So I'm making it a little bit easier for her. Okay, free. And it helps if she can see the treat move so she knows that she can,
Right. See you toss it.
so that she can move, yeah. Okay, sit, stay. I'm going to try and take a bigger step back. Oh, let's try again. And I like to take them back to their original spot because some dogs will continue to inch their way forward and think that, oh, you know, I can get closer, I can get closer, I can get closer.
Right.
So that's why I take them back. Hey, Winnie. Good girl. Sit. Stay. So I'm going to take a smaller step and go back. Good girl. Free. And the reason that I go back to them is because if I click out here, I don't want them to think that they can break a stay.
Okay, so you always go back to them.
Yep. So
Even
they,
if you were stepping way back, you would go back up before you.
and then click and treat.
Okay.
Unless, so the only time that she should break a stay is if you release her or call her to you, which we will do.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm doing a stay and then I say, Winnie, come, then she can break.
Okay, okay.
So I'll kind of show you the, you know, sometimes I'll break it up a little bit and I'll kind of show you how I do that. Winnie, hey, what is that over there? Hey, Winnie. Watch. Yes, good girl. Good watch. Good job. Winnie. So I'm going to get her attention first. Make sure she's watching. Stay.
Oh.
Okay,
I
let's
guess
try again.
that's the distraction part, huh?
Yes, that's the distraction part. Say, I have a camera. Sit. Stay. So I'm going to take a step back. Good. Stay. And I will repeat it right after I give the treat so they understand that they're still staying.
Right.
And then sometimes I'll just, good job, good stay.
So rewarding them without a treat.
Right. Sit. Stay. And then you can start to like step to the side. Oh, try again. Which she wasn't.
Too much. I can't do that.
Yeah. Stay. Good stay. That was so tough. You did so good. Free. Yeah, so you can always make it easier.
Okay.
So like with my dogs, I will start to take a step to the side and then until I can walk all the way around. But sometimes that takes a month.
Okay. Right.
So it's just doing it little by little. And just to keep their attention, like sometimes I'll click and treat, and sometimes I'll just pet them and say good stay and then stay. And then we're going to try a recall this time. Winnie. Hey. Sit. Stay. So this is actually good because she's farther away. Good stay. Stay. Winnie, come. Let's go, let's go. Yay, good girl.
Good girl.
Good job. Oh, that was so good. Okay, free. And you can even do the same thing like on a bed or a mat to teach them like to go to their mat and stay while you're eating dinner or, doing something. So you can like carry this over to other things.
Yeah. Okay, cool. It's a fun game.
I know. Let's try a down stay. That's harder. Down. Yes, good down. Stay. Good stay. Stay. So I'm going to back up. Yes, good stay.
So what if she sat up before you came over? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for her age, I'm going to give it to her. And when I'm doing like a sit stay, I allow my dogs to like then lay down because it's more comfortable.
Yeah.
And it kind of depends on the owner if you're okay with going from a down to a sit. Sometimes I give it
need them to stay in a down. Like what are situations?
Kind of like if you're having dinner or company and you just want them to chill. Because if they stand up, then the next one is to like stand up and come over.
Okay.
So
like
it's
they're inching more towards walking.
yeah. Yeah, but it is common for dogs to go from a sit to a down because it's more comfortable.
Okay.
So, yeah, so like if you took her to like a swim meet or a soccer game or something and you just wanted her to down stay by your feet. And then if she sits, it might be like, oh, I see something. Do I want to go see it? And then she might stand.
Okay.
But I wouldn't expect her to do that at her age, but just like in the future.
Right.
Okay, here. Go get it.
So how come when you said Winnie come, how come you then needed to say free? Does come not release?
Yeah, my come is like I do like a come front, like come sit and look at me, and so she came and I clicked and treated, and then I said free, but you wouldn't necessarily need to.
But when she's really good at it, you would be sitting, and then you'd come and sit again.
Yeah.
And then release her.
Yeah. So your recall can basically be. You guys can decide what you want your recall to be. So some people want to say come and they just want their dog to come back to their general area.
Yeah.
I do more of a like come sit and look at me, and then I click and treat, and then I say okay, free.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And then some people, if they have a dog that bolts, I'll say come, grab their collar, and then treat.
Okay.
So it's just kind of owner preference of what you want your recall to look like.
Okay.
My dogs are adults, and so I do expect like more of them. So sometimes that just, carries over into the puppy stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, for her age, okay, stay. So I'm going to take a bigger step back. Good stay. Good job. Stay. Good. So now she's starting to get it and I can move around.
Okay.
Free. And sometimes I will, instead of saying like, stay, 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 I'll just kind of like do a little reminder with my hand.
Okay.
But stay is one of those that I do often repeat just to kind of remind them. But,
So we're still doing.
but yeah, it's like, we're still staying. Good job. We're still staying. Okay, you want to try?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a clicker. Do you want me to?
Yep, you can borrow mine.
Okay.
Okay, so since we're changing people, we're just going to start with 5 seconds.
Okay.
And then click and treat.
Okay. Winnie, stay. Good girl. Yes, good girl.
Good.
Should I step back again now?
Yep, so tell her stay again.
Okay, Winnie. Do I need to wait for it? Stay.
Then take like a half a step back. Good. And then go back to her, click and treat.
Yes, good girl. Good.
Good.
Such a good girl. Should I try again?
Yeah, now take a bigger step back and maybe do 3 seconds.
Okay. Winnie, stay. Doesn't matter that she's not paying attention.
There. Yeah, she's good.
Yes, good girl.
Good job.
Good girl.
So now do that again and this time call her to you.
Okay. Winnie, stay. Winnie, come.
Yes, good girl. And then you can give her lots of praise and yeah, you don't necessarily need to release her.
Okay.
Because right now we just want her to come to you.
Okay.
Good job.
Such a good girl.
So then you can start adding distractions. Like sometimes I'll do a sit stay with the owner here and then like I'll just walk through.
Uh-huh.
And that'll be a distraction because
Okay.
some dogs will want to be like, oh, there's a new person I'm going to follow.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can have like your kids and husband help and just walk through. I tell people like don't give her eye contact because we don't want to set her up to fail.
Oh, okay.
It's just like
we shouldn't give her eye contact when she's staying.
you can,
Oh,
but
the
like
distraction.
the distraction. So like I'm not gonna go like, oh hi Winnie, I'm a distraction, because then she's gonna follow me.
Okay.
But I would just like walk by, not look at her.
Yeah.
So just kind of mimics like people walking around while she's in a downstay and she still stays.
Okay. Got it.
So and then you can start adding noises, as distractions, and then click and treat her for staying.
Okay.
And then with stay, it's just a matter of continuing to build duration and distance really gradually, one step at a time.
Okay.
I think a good goal for her would be maybe to do a sit stay for 20 seconds while you're brushing your teeth.
Oh, okay.
Like on the bathroom rug,
Yeah.
sit stay, brush
You're
your
doing
teeth.
something else.
Yep, and build up to that and then release her.
Okay.
Older dogs, I make them do a minute.
Uh-huh.
But she's young, so I wouldn't do more than 20 seconds with her.
Oh, she's just getting her toys.
Yes. So, yeah, just set like little goals that you can do for her, which are kind of age appropriate.
Okay. Perfect.
But she picked it up really quick.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing.
It's like she's trying so hard.
I
can
know.
see it in her eyes. So cute.
So the other thing I wanted to do is just kind of review briefly all the stuff we've done and see if you
Okay.
have any questions.
Perfect.
So we'll start with Winnie. Yes. So name game.
Good girl.
So make sure she, hey, what's the matter? You love these treats. There you go.
She's like, I'm full.
Yeah, and with treats, so I was actually with a client yesterday and he says, I think our dog's getting kind of fat. And I said, and they have like, it's funny, I walk into their condo and they have like 5 bags of Pupford treats.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, you can reduce the amount of food that you're feeding, or you can count out some kibble and use kibble. But definitely if you're training and giving a lot of treats, like cut down on the amount of like actual meals that you're giving.
Okay.
So like for my, you'll meet Maddie and you'll see how big she is. She doesn't get a lot at mealtime because she's getting treats and turbo tendons and stuff.
Throughout the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Winnie, yes, good girl. So she's doing really good at recognizing her name. Even she was headed over to, a distraction. Well, that's a good distraction.
Yeah.
Winnie. Yes, good girl. I know. Here, you want this? Hey, go get it. I'm going to break these up a little bit, if I can. Okay, watch. Yes, good girl.
So how do you progress that one?
So with watch, then I'll start to do it like in different rooms outside, because outside with distractions is going to be a lot harder.
Do you ever want her to hold eye contact longer? Because she's still just going barely.
Not for her age.
Okay.
Like for Jade, who's 2 years old, when we do like her service dog test, she has to hold eye contact for like 5 seconds in a grocery store.
Oh, okay.
But for her age, that's all I want is just for her to like give you attention so then you can tell her what to do next.
Okay.
So, hey, Winnie. Oh, you found one. Touch.
She knows this one.
So I'm going to give her a second. Yes.
There you go.
Good girl.
I was like, she knows this. We did
Yeah.
it this morning.
And I know she already knows sit, and we just did down. So just to kind of refresh, when you're doing it in new places, like sit, I just lower above their head, so their head goes up and their butt goes down. And now to do down, I'm going to lower her down and start to slide it out. Yes, good girl. Wait. Yes, good girl. That was good.
That was a good one.
Then you can kind of turn that into a trick, like where you, so what I do, down. Do you need a break? Let's give you a break.
Why isn't she going down?
Okay, ready? Let's try again. Down. There you go. So then I'll start to do weight and move it closer, 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 closer till I can put it on their paw.
Okay.
So,
So it's like more tempting.
yeah. So while she's there, let's try leave it.
Okay.
Winnie. Watch. Good girl. Leave it. Yes, good girl. So I want her to see she's getting a different treat and not this one.
Were those really different, or did they just came from different
They
angles?
just came from different.
Okay.
Yeah. Normally when I train this, I do use different treats.
Yeah.
So lower value, higher value, but I use the same one.
Yeah. But the idea is she's not getting that one.
Yep, she's
Yeah.
getting something of equal or higher value.
Okay.
So, and she did recall when we were doing stay. So with recall, when you're doing it, or when you're doing stay and recall like outside, I would do it on leash so that you can reinforce that by reeling her in. If you remember last week when Jade was running around your backyard, I did not use come.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, she's sniffing. She's in a new area. She probably is not going to do it. So I would whistle, say over here, let's go.
Yeah.
Unless she's on a leash and I can pick it up and reinforce it. So especially with recall, you always want to do that like on leash.
Okay.
Like out in new areas.
Okay.
And we'll even practice like in Home Depot and do sit stays and down stays and then recalls, but I always have a leash on them.
Okay.
So we've done name game. Let's have you go through them and do them just so
Okay.
if you have any questions. So let's start with just saying her name.
Hey, Winnie. Did that count? She was already kind of looking at
I'll distract her. Okay, now.
Yeah,
Good.
girl. She's like not too into it all of a sudden.
Okay, now do eye contact. So watch me.
Watch me.
Yes, good job.
Actually, I should have kept it out here. That's what I usually do. Should I try that again?
Yeah.
Winnie, watch me.
Oh, good. She's got that. Perfect.
And then touch.
Hand targeting.
Winnie, touch.
And you can help her, like, yeah, put a treat in your fingers.
Winnie, touch. It's like she doesn't want to walk. There we go.
Good girl. Good.
She's being lazy. She's like, I'm just gonna move my
I know, but that's okay. We want to set her up for success, and then, okay, let's do weight.
Okay, Winnie, this is dropping the food, right?
Yeah, or you can set it down.
Okay, Winnie, wait. Yes, good girl.
Good. So now I'm going to give you a second treat,
Okay.
and let's do leave it. So I usually drop this one just to make it a little bit harder.
Okay, Winnie, leave it. Yes, good.
Good job.
Good girl.
And then let her see you pick that one up. Yep. We practice a lot with wood chips
Oh,
because for some reason dogs love wood.
Okay.
Mine do too.
And so the wood would be to leave it and then make it the treat.
And then I want them to see that I pick that up and they don't get it.
Okay.
Okay, let's try.
What about drop it with something she's not supposed to have?
Yes.
Get that popsicle stick thing. My daughter really doesn't want her to have that, and so she really wants it.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we doing leave it with this or drop it?
What do you think?
Well, if she doesn't want her to have it, I don't want to put it in her mouth, but we can do a quick drop it.
Okay, that's what we were doing yesterday.
Okay, good. Winnie, oh, look what I have. Oh, I have your popsicle thing. Oh, yum. This looks so cool. What is this? Okay, now do it. Winnie.
Winnie, drop it.
Put it right in front of her nose.
Drop it. Yes.
Good.
Now I take this one.
Yep,
right?
now you take it.
What if she doesn't want the treat? What do I do
So we
now?
might have to use like higher value treats that's better than the popsicle.
She's more interested in the popsicle and she never wanted the treat.
Yeah. Let's try, is there salmon treats over there?
I have some. You want me to grab some? They're in the...
Yeah, just like one or two.
Okay, should we try again?
Yeah.
Okay. Here.
Oh, she loves that.
I know she really does. I should just make another one just for her. Okay, Winnie. Drop.
Yes,
Nice,
good
good
job.
girl.
Good, yay.
That was good.
Way to improvise too. So yeah, if the dog doesn't do it, it's like, well, let's try a higher value treat or
Yeah,
let's
okay.
try
Do it again.
something that she wants more. Yep.
Winnie, drop. Yes, good girl. Good girl.
Good. Okay, let's do recall. So I'll kind of get her distracted over here and then you can call her to you.
Okay.
Winnie. Hey. Oh, look what I have. Okay, now call her.
Winnie, come.
Yes, good job.
Good girl.
Good. And then I think the only other one is leash walking.
Yeah. We
But I know you were out of town,
Yeah.
so that's just practicing. So I'll just kind of review.
Yeah,
You
let's
can
review
either
that.
do the stop and go.
Wait, tell me what that is again.
So tight leash means we stop,
Uh-huh.
and then if she turns back to look at you or gives you a loose leash, then we go.
Okay.
Or there's change direction. So tight leash means we just turn,
Uh-huh.
and then I usually click and treat when the dog's right around this area.
Okay.
And then if the dog catches up and bolts out in front of me again, I just turn again. So I keep changing direction.
So you're not really going anywhere during this.
No, the dog's
Okay.
getting a lot of
Yeah,
exercise.
right.
But the dogs, I have found, get tired of like, okay, this lady does not know where she's going.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of catching up all the time, so I'm just going to like stay around here.
Okay.
And again, it's good for them to sniff and explore and smell. So I don't expect a formal heel, especially with a puppy. But I let them sniff and explore, but I just don't want them to pull me.
Okay.
So I'll even do like, okay, we're going to walk nicely on leash from here to there. And then I'll say, okay, go sniff. And then I'll release them to go sniff.
Okay.
And that can be a reward. And then the third one is just, like I can probably do this one inside. It's just like dropping the treat in front of them as we're walking.
Okay, we did practice that one.
To get them to slow down. And I start with every step, and then we'll go every 2 steps, every 5 steps, every 10 steps. So we start to.
Does it work as well if she's not actually on leash? Does that translate over to?
I actually do that off leash too, like in a controlled environment, just to kind of teach them to stay with me off leash.
Okay.
You always run the risk of like them seeing like, oh, there's a dog I want to run over.
Yeah, yeah.
So I always practice it on leash first, but if she's off leash, you can do the same thing.
Okay. Perfect.
And then I think that is all of the basics.
Good.
So we did sit down, wait, stay, leave it, come, loose leash walking, name game. Any questions on socialization?
I don't think so. We just need to keep doing it.
Yeah. So I was listening to a really good podcast this week, and so I'll just reiterate it for you. She doesn't need to meet like 100 people. She just needs to have positive experiences with different people, different places, different objects. So like where I live, I like to socialize puppies to cows and horses and sheep because there's a lot of them where I live.
Yeah.
Down here, like you would probably want to socialize her to like bikes and scooters and things like that.
Right.
And we always want to let her approach on her own and make sure she's comfortable approaching. And same with people. Like, see if she wants to approach somebody.
She always wants to approach
Yep,
somebody.
which is good. So we don't really want to say, here, like handle my puppy so she likes people, because it might be scary for her and we don't want her to have anything scary. So we always want to let her approach and then always make it really positive. Like, oh, look, there's a bike. Here's a treat. Like,
do you feel like they ever like lose a socialization skill? Like she used to be fine in the car, but then we didn't take her in the car for like a week, and yesterday we took her in the car and she was kind of whimpering. Was that could maybe just random?
Yeah, it could be. And it could be that she hasn't been in the car for a little bit. So then I would just kind of back up with her a little bit and put her in the car, give her a treat, start the car, give her a treat, maybe go for a really short ride, and then build back up again.
Okay.
So, okay, so with that, I'm going to go get Miss Maddie.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring her in on leash. We're going to let Winnie stay off leash.
Okay.
And we're going to just see if she wants to approach. Maddie might have a little more energy than she normally does because she's on prednisone. So usually she's my like mellow, but now she's like always on the hunt for food. So I will go get her. Oh, thank you. And we'll do a little socialization.
Okay. Sounds good.
Good job, Winnie. When I loaded Maddie today, she didn't want to come because she thought she was going to the vet.
Oh, this is way better than the vet.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
Look, who's that? Maddie's very, very good with puppies, but it's good. Like she's approaching on her own.
Yeah.
And who's that? Is that a new friend? I know you want to play, huh?
Oh, so fun.
Who is that? Maddie sits. Platz. Good girl. Come say hi. Who is that?
Oh, good girl.
Oh, good girl. Good girl. Who is that? So it's like they don't need to play. All they need to do is interact, and she just needs to have a positive interaction with the dog.
Do you think it might just get better from here?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
maybe her,
Yeah. I mean, Maddie's old, so she doesn't play as much anymore.
Yeah.
But I think if, like, she met Jade a few times and Jade is, like, not wanting to sniff everything, they'd play. But, yeah, every time she has a really good interaction like this and she can smell and the dog's being calm around her. And dogs are kind of like people in that they don't need to love every dog.
Yeah.
And they just need to have positive interactions with them. And then that's like really good socialization. And then, oh, yeah.
Good girl, Winnie. Good girl.
I know. Oh, that's such a good girl. She's like, give me treats.
Yeah,
Just
she's like,
feed
"I'll be
me.
good too."
Just feed me.
Yeah.
Who is that, huh? No, that one's hers. Okay, you can have that one. And we'll give Winnie this one. You can have the one that dropped on the ground. See, she doesn't even want treats. She just wants to play. Platz. Good girl. Say hi. Who is that?
I'm gonna smell your mouth.
Say that's a new friend, huh? Yes, that's a good girl. Good girls. Yeah, so this is really good interaction for her. And just really positive, greetings between dogs. There's a good girl. What do you think? She's pretty big, huh? She's pretty big.
You're nice. You're nice. Hi. Oh, you were very friendly.
She's my gentle giant.
Oh, she's sweet.
When we went to the vet, they were supposed to Dremel her nails, and they did Jade's instead.
Oh, really?
So now I can do them, but I just haven't done hers yet. So this this is how we
Just going
do
about
socialization.
her
Yep.
thing, yeah.
They don't really need to interact, although, and we want Winnie to be able to go up on her own and say hi. And we always want to do this with a dog that we know is going to be calm and like not snap at her or not, because we just want everything to be really positive.
Yeah.
Just kind of like last week, Jade was, interacted a little bit, but just, she was able to chase her and say hi. And
Yeah.
that's really all we need for really good,
You are very nice.
positive dog interactions and how to introduce them. What do you think about her? So, on behalf of Pupford, we wanted to present you with Winnie's completion certificate.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
So, she went through the whole puppy course and passed with flying colors.
Awesome.
So,
Good girl.
that is for
Thank
you and her, and she did great.
She is so good. It's been so awesome working with you.
Yeah, it's been great for me
you so
too.
much.
It's been so much fun. You did so good. I'm going to miss seeing you every week.
I